Who did their summer homework? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. The summer assignment was to read the most important thing by our distinguished guest here, Mr. Marks. Who read the book? Who has read the book, maybe just not this summer? Okay. Well, great. Well, that's pretty good. So we got some pretty informed people, Howard, so that's exciting. So what I wanted to do is just do a quick introduction. You know, you don't care about me, but I run the programs for the CFA Society, so I line up the education, and we got lots of great things this year and in the next year. If you have any ideas, suggestions, people you want to see, come let me know, please. If you have contacts, even better, let me know twice so I can get some good folks. So in case you've been under a rock, you don't know who Oak Tree Capital Management is, they're really one of probably the leading global alternative investment firms in the world. They were founded in 1995 by Howard and several other principals. Today, Oak Tree has over 850 employees, offices in LA, New York, Hong Kong, and 14 other major financial cities across the world. So without further ado, I welcome Howard Marks to come on up.
Judgment, just like I've been saying about everything else. If I ran Goodyear and I developed a new tire and I wanted to know how far it would go, I'd put it on a car and I'd run it until it blows up. And that's called destructive testing. We in our industry, our fiduciaries, we do not have the luxury of engaging in destructive testing. We can't take more and more money. Well, I mean, we could, but we shouldn't. Take more and more money until our firms blow up. And so we have to stop this side of the wall if we want to avoid hitting the wall. If you want to avoid hitting the wall, you got to stop this side of the wall. First of all, I think that risk is the most important thing. Book notwithstanding. There are 3 dedicated chapters. You know, in the book, each chapter says that the most important thing is, and then it's a different thing. There's 20 of them. And you know, I wrote it because I found that I would sit in a client's office and I would say the most important thing is controlling risk. And then 5 minutes later I would say the most important thing is not overpaying. And 5 minutes after that I would say the most important thing is having your emotions under control. So I wrote a book where each chapter says the most important thing is, and it's a different thing. But 3 of the 20 chapters are devoted to risk control. Here's the dirty little truth about the investment management business. Good performance will bring more money, and if allowed to go unchecked, more money will bring bad performance. Now, that's just the way it is. But I think for the most part, they are rather efficient markets where the measure of outperformance was never great in the first place. In general, I would say that most of the assets I'm aware of are priced on what I call the high side affair. There's nothing selling for below its intrinsic value that I'm aware of, and almost nothing selling at its intrinsic value. We can't find great bargains. All we can find is better bargains than the other stuff.
Right.
So this is not a time to expect to find bargains, in my opinion. On the other hand, I don't find that markets are bubblish. You know, the S&P is selling at 18 times earnings. In 2000, it was selling at 32 times earnings. That was a bubble.
Sure.
And that was a bubble that took 12 years, or maybe more, to ever recover. Stocks did nothing for more than a decade because they had reached a bubble from which they receded and then recovered. I don't see things that are bubblish today. Back in 08, when the world was falling apart in October of 08, I paraphrased that into the 3 stages of a bear market. And what I said is that after a long series of increases in the market, first stage, a few bright people realize that things are priced too high and riding for a fall. And in the second stage, most people accept that a correction is underway. And in the third stage, everybody believes that things can only get worse. And that's when you buy.